going on? 7 Fit, checking with you guys. Got to do all doing terrific, and we're back with another video. So today is going to be another epic day. I keep saying that at the beginning of the last few videos. We have a big 20-mile run with us today. Of course, don't do the we are at Forest Park in St. Louis, and we're about to get after this tough 20 miles. But the difference between the way we started this video compared to where we started last video is going to be the confidence level going into this race. I know it's going to suck, but having the run that I did, the 18 miles that I did this past weekend, definitely give me confidence I can finish 20. I just need to make sure I prepare and I make sure I do the right things. Pretty much repeat the same thing I did last time. So what are we going to be doing today? So what we are going to be doing today is going to be all the assortment right here. So what I try to do, obviously this is coming with me, I try to have this about every 40 minutes or so. We are going to be having the Martine gel, and we are going to be swapping that with the Hummer. So Martine, Hummer, and this is going to be happening every 30 minutes of the race. So last week I used this, but I only picked this up about 5 miles in. But this time around I am starting out the gate with this. And review so far, love it. Again, it's very easy, 14 ounces, fits right into the palm of my hands, and I don't really feel any discomfort from it. With that being said, I'm gonna stretch, get after it, and of course I'm gonna be taking you guys with me because I want you guys to share the misery, cheer me on, watch your highs, watch your lows. And as always, I like to tell people I hate running. I do it because I hate it, because I think there is this once you see 18 miles, especially on Instagram, bro, like people are so impressed by that, and I like to make it a point that please don't be impressed by that, because we all started somewhere. Don't be too impressed. You psych yourself out of the possibility of doing something epic. And I thought I'd share that with you guys because some of you guys don't watch my video to the end. So while you at it, give this video a thumbs up if you love this video so far. If you want us to accomplish that 20 mile race, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. And yeah, I'll try to keep it as entertaining as possible so you guys can stick around. If you don't, it's okay. I still love you. All right, so nervous shit is over, and we are ready to go. I mean, the sun is shining. I think it's gonna be a toasty one today. This was to get a high of 90 degrees. So we're starting at 7 o'clock in the morning. So hopefully by the time I finish, it will just be getting hot. So let's get after it. Miles in, definitely a lot hotter than last week's 18, but feeling good and taking it easy. All right, 10 miles in, as always. I took the AirPods out and trying to enjoy this last 10. It's gonna suck a little, a lot. We're gonna find out. Last clip that you guys saw was that 10 miles feeling good, and I'm decided to call it at 18.3 miles. I tried to push through, but I can't because my left knee is literally bothered. I cannot put any running pressure on it. I can walk fine, but running is very, very difficult right now. Let's talk about dealing with adversity, right? So most people who see this situation like, man, fuck, and get mad because last week I had 18 miles and that was fucking epic, finished strong. The last 2 miles is my strongest mile. But this is where people separate themselves. What do you do when things are not going that great? What I'm doing mentally to challenge myself is, one, I'm accepting the fact that I ran 0.3 miles than I did, and I know I feel great doing 18 miles. So what I'm gonna do is take an after action report, AAR, like I mentioned in previous videos, and analyze what went wrong, what should I have done right. And I can tell you straight up right now, it's a lot hotter than it was last week. And I know that contributed to me feeling the way I'm feeling right now. Stop catching a little bit of cramp in my quad, which translated down to my knee. Taking the wins, living in the gain, not the gap, is very, very important. So what you do matter when you take losses. Not what you do doesn't really matter when you take wins, because again, you celebrate it, that's great. But losses, that's where you truly learn a lot of things from. The part about running is taking off my shoes and sliding into the cane. Link in the description if you want to cop some, maybe 10%. So check it out. So got home a while back, showered, took a nice bath, made coffee, and I'm about to try something that I've been wanting to try. So I follow Max Trudin on YouTube, and he always talks about this kolaches, right? And I'm like, and that got me curious to look for a place in St. Louis that has one, and I found one. So cheers. Oh, there's a brisket. So fucking good. Oh yeah, I got a whole box of it. But you guys are not here to hear me talk about kolaches. I was gonna take this video a different direction, but now I'm changing that direction, and I'm gonna be talking to you guys about some of the biggest mistakes that I made, because I think I did make some mistakes on this run. And I'm hoping if you're trying to get into running, you can catch some of these mistakes before you make them too, so you'll be like me today. For the integrity of this channel, I think it's important to show the good side and the bad side. It's important to celebrate the good and the bad at the same time. The reason why you want to celebrate the bad or acknowledge the bad is because you can learn from it. And without the bad, you can't really learn too much if you are always crushing it. So we didn't crush it today. We made some errors, we made some mistakes, did some after action report. We're going to be making that adjustment, and we are going to come back better. First mistake that I made was comparison. You heard the saying, comparison is a thief of joy. I am a BBN sponsored athlete, so I follow people like Nick Bear, I follow people like David Goggins, Cameron Haynes, and I follow all these people and I see them just crushing them. Like, oh yeah, yes, believe it or not, I was so naive that I'm gonna go out and go run a mile, and I should be able to run a 7-minute mile. But guess what? I could not do that. And by saying that, if you compare yourself to others, and when you're trying to start that feat or that challenge and you realize you're not where you thought you should be, that's gonna defeat you. That's gonna put you in a place where you don't wanna chase that goal anymore. You feel defeated. You're like, okay, I'm gonna put that at the back burner. So do not compare yourself to others. We all have our own journeys. We all run our own race, for the lack of a better word. Same way, you're not gonna wake up one morning if you never trained a day in your life. You're not gonna show up to the gym and start squatting 600 pounds. That's the same way you're not gonna show up on your first mile or 2-mile race expecting a 7, 8, 6-minute mile, unless you're just a genetic freak. But unfortunately, a lot of us are not that genetic freak. Mistake that is quite common that I made also when I started my running journey is not picking the right pair of shoes. So of course, as I've been posting a lot about running, I get a lot of questions. Hey, what kind of shoes are you running? What would you recommend? And what I keep telling people, or what I wish I would have done, is go to actual running store and get my gait checked. I'm saying this is because when I first started, I was running in Saucony and Dauphin speeds. Nothing against the company, nothing against the shoes, but I'm saying for my feet, I have wide feet, it was not the right shoe for me. I finished a half marathon, I'm like, oh, that was great, and I started having like feet problems. Then I went to a running store and I got my gait checked, and it's like, oh yeah, this is a better shoe for you. The Hokas. So one of the biggest mistakes I made was not going to a running store and actually getting my feet checked, especially if I'm running for quite a while. Your feet is not really used to it. You are going to be running for a significant amount of time. You want to make sure you pick the right shoe for you. Third mistake that I made is, this is the quite common one, regardless if it's running or training. Most of us have made this mistake, and that is just coming out the gate too hot. And what I mean by that is, you know, your New Year resolution is, you just, you know, got motivated, you want to go to the gym, go work out, you go to the gym, you literally empty the tank, and just to find out you wreck yourself and you cannot come back from it for like the next 2-3 weeks, and that discourages you and you don't want to go back again. Same goes for running. When you've never ran before, or just started picking up running and going out the gate, or you want to run a 1 mile, 2 mile, and you start focusing on your run time instead of focusing on just your easy pace, meaning conversational pace. Run your easy miles easy and run your hard miles hard. And the fourth mistake that I made is recovery. I was thinking I should be able to recover at the same rate I normally would when it comes to strength training compared to when I run. Even though it's a mile, 2 mile, I'm like, sure, I should be able to just pick it up and get back again and not prioritize recovery. Yes, you can get away with a lot of stuff when it comes to training, especially when I've been training for quite a while. My body's already adapted. But when it comes to running, the recovery rate is much slower. So I did not prioritize recovery recovery, meaning my ice bath, meaning my compression boots, meaning my KANE footwear, my Theragun, mobility, and things like that. Of course, I know better, but it was just not that important to me at the time. Like, oh yeah, sure, I should be able to. In case you're just getting started on your journey, make sure you prioritize recovery, meaning food, hydration, and all the recovery modalities that you can find to make sure you're ready to perform and ready to get after it again. Prioritize those, and that will put you in the best position, one, not just only recover, to prevent a lot of injuries. So those are the 4 big mistakes that I made when I started running that I hope you don't make too. And speaking of mistakes, again, just thinking about the run today, what's the one biggest mistake that I made? Last run of my 18 mile that I crushed, the weather was just way too nice. It was like 65 degrees. It was cloudy, cool breeze. I mean, there was no, I was breaking a sweat, but not as much as I did today. But checking the weather in the midweek, I'm like, oh yeah, the weather still looks, great. It should be around like 66 or something like that. But overnight it got hotter, so I did not do my proper risk assessments. If I knew that, I would have, one, hydrated more. And running is one of those things that if you think you've hydrated enough, hydrate some more. And I should have called myself and my gels, recovery gels, or my salt tab, instead of waiting an hour. I should have done that maybe 30 minutes into the run. And I also think I cracked the code when it comes to running too. So running really is all about problem solving. Instead of, if you're not used to running the first time and things start to get a little crazy, a little like out of control, it's natural for you to just like freak out. I'm like, oh my god, this is hurting, and your body does a good job of letting you know, or alerting you, like everything hurts. But is it everything hurting really? But the more you run, the more you get in tune with your body. If something kind of just feels weird, like, okay, I'm taking a mental note of that, I'm gonna make an adjustment here before it becomes a problem. So running really is all about troubleshooting. You want to troubleshoot the problem. You don't want to freak out. You want to try to be in the moment. So I was trying to troubleshoot the problem. It's funny because when I was running, I saw this awesome lady that would just like keep seeing each other. I gave her like a fist bump, a high five, and it's like she saw me stopping and kind of just taking a name, like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm troubleshooting because I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Can I keep going, or can I do something just to make sure I finish? I'm learning. Yes, I made a lot of mistakes at the early stages, but at the same time I'm learning a lot about myself. In case you saw the video that I posted talking about why I run, I cover some of those tips in there, or some of those reasons why I love running, because again, it's just something that allows me to challenge myself and actually just show you what you're truly capable of. And I've enjoyed the process. So the run today was not a failure, it's just lessons. And if you follow my Instagram page, I talked about, hey, I'm excited for what 20 mile, the lessons 20 mile has to offer. And it definitely taught me a lot of things. One, yes, celebrate the win, but if anything, celebrate the losses too. Biggest lessons are typically in the losses. That is the video for you guys. I appreciate you for made it to the end of the video, and if you have, give this video a like, give this video a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, make sure you click the subscribe button, turn your post notification on so you can be alerted when I post a new YouTube video. Fit. Keep challenging yourself. You are capable of more than you think you are. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.